Hello everybody, today I have my presentation about my research. The title of this study is Anthropometric Indicators in Nutrition Intake in Adolescents with Without Down Syndrome. My name is Geiziane Leite. I am PhD study in Brazil. First, I show you my part of my country. I think everybody know about this city, Rio de Janeiro, because the samba, carnival, food, and any kind of things happy situation. But unfortunately, I live so far, Rio de Janeiro. I live in the capital of Brazil, Brasilia. Is here have a beautiful sky, can be possible see, and here is stay my university, um, Católica Brazilian University is a beautiful place. I love this place too because here I conclude my undergraduate in physical education and now I'm doing my PhD study. So now I talk about my research. Everybody know this, the Down syndrome is the most common genetic syndrome. In Brazil, there are 250,000 individuals with Down syndrome. He have a prevalence in 1 in every 700 newborns. 100% the people with Down syndrome have intellectual disability, and together for occur this design, for example, Alzheimer's diseases, heart problems, sleep apnea, congenital heart diseases, metabolic syndrome, and obesity. And the last decades can be possible observe the increase, the significantly a life expectancy the people with Down syndrome. The same occur in Brazil. The Brazil growth, the Brazilian population with Down syndrome is occur because improve the last decades social care, medical conditions, education and health for these people in Brazil. And because this, in Brazil have babies, children, adolescents, adults, and elderly people with Down syndrome is a good point for us. And at the same time, this increased life expectancy um, observe the increased obesity too, unfortunately. And this study is this principal actors is Brazilian person too, and he showed for us this study, and this title Overweight Obesity in Children, Adolescent with Down syndrome, Prevalence, Determinants, Consequences, Intervention, a review. In this review show the different study in the world. Is this result is interesting, but at the same time is badly too, because in all these studies, the people with Down syndrome have increased body mass index. And when compared to the people don't have a Down syndrome, is very badly for the future these children and adolescents too, because we increase obesity in the future have together hypertension, diabetic, 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 oh sorry, syndrome, metabolic syndrome, and the same conditions, disease. But at the same time, this study show for us the different points. Unfortunately, in 2016, more than 80% of school-going adolescents age 11 and 70 years didn't not meet current recommendation for the life physical activity, compromise the current and the future health, and 80 out of the 10 children and adolescents do not perform enough physical activity. And here is the Brazil in Latin America. This represents this part of the graph. And pink represent the girls and blue represent the boys. Unfortunately, in Latin America, have degrees physical activity in this age, children and adolescents. In Brazil, 84% of the teenagers are less active than they should. And the same points, this study is so new but so important for us because they demonstrate that participation of the people living without disability in physical activity, a global perspective. And this study demonstrate that approximately 1.5 billion people in the world live with the physical, mental, sensory, and intellectual disability, about 80% of which are in low-income and middle-income countries, the same in Brazil. People living with disabilities are 16 or 62% less likely to meet physical activity guidelines and are the high risk of the serious health problems, related to inactivity the people without disability. But at the same time, the meta-analysis show for us the benefits of the physical activity, and this graph represents that the benefits to the physical activity for the cardiovascular outcomes, musculoskeletal outcomes, mental or brain health outcomes. Unfortunately, don't observe significantly different the cardiometabolic outcomes, but this study told for us so important people have disabilities doing exercise or physical activity every day or completing 150 minutes per week, and the movement is so important. And at the same time, increase the obesity is accompanied by complications and morbidity, oh my God, sorry, my English, comorbidities. And his study show for us the impact of obesity and Down syndrome in peak heart rate and aerobic capacity of an adult. And look at that. The obesity state influences the peak heart rate in adults and children adolescents. So, and in the same time, the obesity state can be influenced through the aerobic capacity. Observe that the adult obese have a Down syndrome have a less aerobic capacity, and when compared for the same person have a disability but normal weight. Is my research I published in Brazilian journal. Unfortunately, this study stay in Portuguese, but your abstract stay in English, and look at that. And I observed the most commonly used method of evaluation or Skyfords presented 80 study, followed by GXA with the 6 study. And at the same time, the body mass index presented in all articles selecting my study is I have a good point because the body mass index is quickly, easy, and stay you can be possible collect the information in school, the gym, in different space, but at the same time, for example, it's so difficult to collect information about the body composition in GXA because I don't know in another country, but this exam is so expensive in Brazil. In my city, Brasilia, have alone 2 GXA here, and in Brasilia have 2 millions people. So imagine this situation. Because this, the research use more Sky Forbes or BMI for the representation about the body composition in different population in different age group. And at the same time, this group, the Greece group, show for us about the nutrition, nutrient intake, and anthropometric in children and adolescents with Down syndrome alone, no compared to control, unfortunately, but this result demonstrate that the children and adolescents, this population in these studies, mostly stay overweight, obese, or stunted, is very dangerous it behaves about this situation because these adolescent children need more care attention because need more modify these age these children and adolescents. At the same time, observe for the intake of energy, macronutrients, and cholesterol, and observe that protein, carbohydrate, fat, and fiber, and don't change for the children and adolescents. Understand me? In this situation, adolescent, these people grow up, so need more protein, need more carbohydrate, need more fiber, and need more fat. But this story don't show the difference into this group. So the research needs more attention in the food that these people intaking and your day. So the assessment for the body composition is necessary for prescription exercise, promote healthy lifestyles, and nutrition strategy. Thus, they also need to verify relationship between anthropometric indicators, effect mass, and to assess nutrient intake between adolescent if out Down syndrome. Methods. This cross-sectional study was carried out as part of extension and research project in specialized of the education care in physical education and art dance for the people with disability. And 25 adolescents with Down syndrome, 14 boys, 11 girls aged 12 and 15 without Down syndrome, 70 boys, 80 girls aged 12 participating in this study. Parents and legal representatives of adolescents provide written informed consent before participation. This study was approved for Human Research Ethical Committee of Catholic University of Brazil, Brasilia. And here, this moment, I collected this information, the waist circumference in my students. And this moment, I collect weight, height, waist circumference, hip circumference were evaluated, and body mass, body mass index by waist to hip index, waist to height index were calculated. And here is the formula I use in my study. And can be possible observe this so simple formula will demonstrate how situation the obesity state, this children state, understand me, is so simple and so quickly misuse this information. And at the same time, I collect the fat mass was evaluated in GXA, and all the time the father or mother stay together your children, okay? And here is the funny situation because these children look at her in your computer, and so funny moment because it's so different picture for her because the picture show for her is alone. Bonnie picture is the good moment, and the after that the fathers or mother respond for me this questionnaire. 24 hours food report was used to assess diary intake analyzed by Guide to Win Personal Suffering version 1.0 Brazil at the calorie quantifiers percentage for the carbohydrates, lipids, and protein. And analyze data this normality and homogeneity of variance was verified for Shapiro-Wilk and Levin test. Independent t-test was conducted for described variable. Pearce correlation also show correctly fat mass with anthropometric indicators. This table one show the characterize the participant if without Down syndrome. Can be possible to observe have a difference alone for the age, through age, weight ratio, and by. These have a difference between the groups. About the nutrition intake of adolescents have mean values and is a difference 119 between the Down syndrome and the adolescent Down syndrome kilocal per day, and there was no difference between except for the fat intake can be observed this for the table 2. The energy intake for the both groups, carbohydrate, fat, and protein. And it's funny because protein is the same ingest intake in the both groups, but the people have a Down syndrome intake more carbohydrate. Is so need more observe this nutrition here. And about correlation between fat mass and anthropometric indicators, can be possible to observe that the people don't have a Down syndrome correlation alone for the fat mass in BMI and BI alone, but the people have a Down syndrome have a correlation, strong correlation, and BMI and WHTR is very interesting because this result can be possible help different population in the world because it's so easy, quickly, and typical. I think it is so important result. Unfortunately, and in low income, in middle income countries don't have a lot of GXA. So can be possible use the anthropometric indicators for the observe the obesity or obesity state in this population have Down syndrome or not. In the moment here, conclusion. All research suggests that anthropometric indicators are good prediction of obesity in adolescents without Down syndrome. These results have important implications for individuals with Down syndrome. They assess the monitor body fat levels in clinical and epidemiological contexts. In addition, evaluate the nutrition intake is necessary to monitor the body composition. Therefore, these anthropometric indicators are easy execution, quick adherence can be excellent adjuvant strategy for control and prevention of obesity. And thank yous. Any question, you can find me in this in my email, and that is, thank you so much. And World Down Syndrome Congress Dubai. And that's it. Bye bye.